If you are somebody who started 75 soft or 75 hard, or started your 90-day transformation in the middle of September and then you stopped on day 25, there is no judgment here. I need y'all to come to the front of the class because we got some things to talk about. Just because Thanksgiving is over and the rest of the year is behind you, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't put the rest of the year that's in front of you to best use. So today I want to talk about some things that you might want to consider thinking about doing before the end of the year to prepare yourself for next year. Hey there, loved ones. This is Fully Loving Yourself, and my name is Sonya Star J. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. So the other day, I seen a video on here by a young lady named Trinity. She has a channel called Trending Topics, and she was discussing a topic that I think is really important about things that we could do before the end of the year closes out to make sure that we're ending the year on a good note. She talked about things like getting your doctor's appointments set up, making sure you're getting all your checkups, and a few other things that I really think were really important. So I'm actually going to link that video down in the description box below for you all to check out. Now, there were some things that I felt like I really wanted to share on top of that video that she shared, like some things that I think could really help to prepare us for next year by not letting this next month and a half go to waste. Now, I'm filming this the day after Thanksgiving, and I know a lot of us are stuffed from eating yesterday, okay? And that's all right. I know a lot of y'all probably doing Black Friday shopping, y'all preparing for Christmas, travel plans, all of those things. But in the midst of doing all of those things, I really think that it would be beneficial for us all to really just take a day to be to ourselves. I really think that it's important for us to take a day to just intentionally rest, like a day to just be to ourselves, by ourselves, so that we can rejuvenate, rest, relax, and dig deep into what we want our next year to look like. So what this looks like for me is using some of my PTO to take a few days to really just be to myself, to rest and relax and journal, because I am somebody who cooks for the holidays. I decorate for the holidays. I love for people to come over to my house for the holidays. So, and also this is a period of time where we're spending a lot of time with a lot of people, and it doesn't always allow us time to spend by ourselves. And that's really important. I feel like one of the things that we could do now to prepare us for next year is to be intentional with our self-care time that's just for us. Because if you start doing things like that early, it will set the tone for how you move in the next year. So some things that you could do during that day when you just take the time to be with yourself is to find something creative to do. Now, why is this important? Because doing something creative allows you to connect with yourself. It allows you to bring yourself back to the present moment. It can be a moment of meditation. I recently got some paint by numbers, something that I love to do when I was a child. I would just sit and paint, and I'm not the best like free drawer or free painter. So having the paint by numbers telling me like where each color should go, that was meditative for me. That was relaxing for me. So find something that's creative for you to do, maybe like an hour out of that day, just so you can relax and just decompress and reconnect with your womb. Because essentially our womb is where we birth things, we birth new ideas, and we reconnect with that part of ourselves by allowing ourselves to be creative. And one thing that I noticed was that we don't have a lot of time in our lives to be creative people because we are so overwhelmed and a lot of times obsessed with being productive and taking care of everybody else and doing all of the things and checking the boxes off of our to-do list that we don't stop and breathe and really just take some time to just be with ourselves and do something fun. I realized that I was the type of person to take life a little bit too serious and not allow myself to have fun. So I actually started a new TikTok page where I could just let loose and not care about what anybody thinks. And I just be over there posting funny dancing TikTok videos, because once you realize that life is not that serious, once you realize that things are really not that deep, it allows you to have more fun and just enjoy the moments. Another thing that I believe you should start doing before the end of the year is to take more walks. And I mean take more walks outside. Get you some gloves, a hat, comfy coat, and go for a walk outside in nature. It might not be as pretty as it was during the summer or the spring, but getting your body moving and preparing for you about to run to the gym in January. Yeah, I know, I see you. Prepare yourself now for what you want your body to start doing for you at the beginning of the year, or in the next couple of weeks if you don't want to wait. But I know a lot of us are busy, but you can dedicate 45 minutes to going for a walk. Even if it's not 45 minutes, 30, 25 minutes, just get your body moving, breathe in that crisp air. Like the winter, it ain't as winter as it used to be. So we can go outside during our lunch breaks or when we get home for a little bit before it gets dark and just go for a walk. Clear your mind, be outside in nature, get that vitamin D. That's actually really important for us to do during the winter time anyway, is to get more vitamin D. But that's a conversation for another day. So after you've gone for a walk and taken some time to be creative, I want you to schedule some time with somebody who makes you laugh. For many of us, the holidays are filled with interactions with family and friends and other people that we might not always feel the best around. Oftentimes we're going into people's homes or having people come into our homes, and maybe not for everybody, but for some people, the vibes aren't always the best. Not everybody has good relationships with their family, and there are some people who choose to celebrate the holidays alone. So before the end of the year, I want you to embrace joy. I want you to embrace community, friendship, love, and laughter by scheduling some time with somebody whose energy and community and friendship that you enjoy. Even if that's just a FaceTime call or a lunch or just something small, so you can start filling your heart and your mind and your body and your spirit with that energy of love and gratitude for the connection in the community. And the holiday season's about that, right? Like community building, being around our loved ones. The holiday season is not always a good time for people. So next Thursday, me and my homegirl are going out to lunch, and we're going to a little St. Nick's art pop-up shop type situation, and that's gonna be real cute, and I'm really excited. And then I'm also going to see Mariah Carey sing Christmas carols with my other girlfriend, because we are celebrating our 8-year friendiversary. So it's things like that. You just gotta be intentional about your community, even if the holidays aren't the best for you. Now, something else that you could do during this day of rest, this day of you, okay, is to start your vision board. Now, you can do this with an actual vision board by getting the board and the pictures. You can print them off at Walgreens. They be having sales and stuff. Or you can do this digitally. You can make a digital mood board or digital vision board and keep it on your phone for you to reflect on and look back to. And you can do this quarterly, you can do this annually, however you want to do it. But having a vision board that helps you to align with your goals and essentially hold you accountable. Now, for me, everything that I put on my vision board last year didn't come true. But honestly, the majority of it did. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of was a little bit scary that so many of the things that I put on my vision board that I really wanted for myself were able to come into fruition. Like with me going to CultureCon a few months ago, that was literally out of the blue, and I'm just so amazed at how God works when you put something out into the atmosphere and you let it be known, like, this is what I want for my life, how it can actually manifest and come to be. So go ahead and start that vision board and start preparing your mind and your spirit for what is to come. Now, another thing with that though too, I think that it's beneficial for us to reflect on how this year went. So this is what I want you to do. I want y'all to get a journal. Now, I know if y'all ain't new here, y'all probably like, okay, Sonya, enough with the journals. But journaling is so good. It's so therapeutic and it's so impactful. So this is what I want you to do when you get your journal, okay? I want you to reflect on this last year. Write down everything that went good. Write down the stuff that went bad. Write down things that you feel like could have went differently, how you could have done things differently, who you could have said something different to, how these experiences made you feel. Write all of that in this journal. You can do this like at night when you got your little beverage and you got some tunes playing. Write a letter of reflection of the last year. And then at the end of it, I want you to give yourself grace. I want you to have a moment of self-compassion for yourself if you didn't achieve all of the goals that you wanted to set for this year. Let yourself know that it's okay, because you woke up today and know tomorrow isn't promised. However, if God does give you the opportunity of another day, you're going to be able to use that and move forward without regret. Our bodies actually tend to hold on to regrets and grief and guilt and all of those things, and it stores that in our womb. And so by doing these type of journaling activities and letting go of if you experience shame or if you experience guilt or if you experience grief or anything of that sort, writing it down and really expressing yourself about how that made you feel and just getting it out will help you so much more, because a lot of us suppress those emotions and we don't tell nobody about how these things actually made us feel. Somebody pissed us off at work and they said something to us that we didn't really like, but we couldn't say anything about it because we wanted to keep our job because we got to pay these bills. Maybe your little kid said something to you and it hurts your feelings, but you can't tell your baby that they hurt your feelings, but you can write about it and you can let it out because you're human. And especially as women, wives, mothers, friends, aunties, all of the titles that we hold, we have to be strong a lot of times. And many of us don't feel comfortable showing emotion, which is interesting because for me, I'm a crybaby. I'm gonna cry. But I've heard that there are so many women who just don't allow themselves to release that emotion. And so it gets stored in our bodies. And then we have all these illnesses and ailments and pains and aches. It's because you got all this emotion pent up in your body. You need to go dance somewhere. You need to go journal somewhere. You need to go let that stuff out. Like an emotional detox. We need to emotionally detox before the end of the year. I actually seen on Facebook maybe that boiling a pot, no, it was on Threads, boiling a pot of cinnamon and cloves in some water on the stove actually releases like it's an essential oil type situation that helps you to let go of grief. And grief doesn't have to be about losing a person, right? Like a person transitioning or passing away, but it can be losing a person through a breakup. It could be losing a friend. It could be you just transitioning to a different space in your life and you and somebody else went different directions. It could be you grieving the life that you thought that you were supposed to have by now. A lot of women grieve the fact that they're not mothers yet, the fact that they're not married yet. So allowing yourself to take up space and feel all of those feelings instead of burying yourself in wine and weed and activities and other people and all of the things that we use to distract ourselves, social media. We need to put our phones down and really tune into ourselves, reconnect with ourselves and our emotions so that we can have a better next year, but also just to have a better life in general moving forward. Lately, I've been really digging deep and talking about the effects of emotional stress and trauma and how it all affects the body, because that's something that I've been having to unpack. Hello, eldest daughter. If there are any others in the room, check in right here. But there are so many mindset shifts and ideologies that I've been having to let go of and unlearn that I didn't even realize was unhealthy. So as we learn each year, each month, we need to just give ourselves space and give ourselves grace to just let go of these things, because every day is a new day for us to learn something new. It's our first life doing this. It's our first time living this life. Write yourself affirmations, love on your body, love on you in general. Write yourself a loving love letter. And then you also want to write a letter to the other people who were involved. Write a letter to the people who you need to forgive, the people who hurt you this year, the people who disappointed you this year, the people who let you down this year. Even if it was something small, write it down. Tell them off in that journal. Tell that journal how it made you feel. And then at the end of it, write, I forgive you. What I actually did was I wrote each person's name and what I needed to forgive them for. And then I wrote, I forgive you for XYZ. And I did some healing work, some energy work on myself that I actually got from the book, The Secret Languages of Your Body. If you're not new here, y'all know I love that book. I've been working with that book and it has been so helpful with just clearing that emotional energy and all of that unprocessed stuff and gunk that I had to get out. Now, most people will recommend that when you're done writing the letter to the people that you need to forgive, that you burn the letter. I've talked about this in several of my other videos, but that is actually a really good practice of learning to let it go, even if it's something that you got to keep repeating. And then at the end of all of that, I want you to write a letter of gratitude to yourself. I want you to write a letter to yourself, hyping yourself up for what an amazing job you did this year. Even if you don't feel like you did your absolute best this year, I want you to really take the time to hype you up for the things that you were able to accomplish this year. Even if that's something small, it don't have to be like a super transformational life change, like you got a new job or you got a new whatever. Just hype yourself up if you made better decisions this year, or even if you made one good decision this year that was better than the last year. Write a letter to yourself telling you how much you love and appreciate yourself and how grateful you are for every new opportunity that you get to become a better woman. And then last but not least, I recommend that we all actually do a detox cleanse. And that detox should be from social media. That should be from certain foods. I'm actually going to start doing a fast on the beginning of next week that I'm really looking forward to. I didn't eat horribly on Thanksgiving, but I still want to give my body a fresh start, give my mind a fresh start as I'm preparing to move into the next Gregorian year. So do a gut detox, a parasite cleanse. I know my friend does a parasite cleanse every year at the end of December after the holidays are done, doing like a full lymphatic gut cleaning detox to clear out all the bad waste, all that negative energy. Just get it up off you. You want to set yourself up for success in the ways that Trinity talked about, as far as setting your appointments, getting all your stuff in line to prepare yourself physically and mentally for the next year. But we also want to prepare ourselves spiritually and emotionally as well. Take some real intentional time to reflect on, again, this year, what could have went differently, and how you can apply that for next year. What goals are you going to set for next year that are attainable? We talked before in one of my previous videos on setting measurable goals. So a lot of people set these goals that they want to lose weight in the beginning of the year. Instead of saying, I want to lose weight, say, I want to go to the gym 2 times a week, or I want to work out for X amount of days, because you will disappoint yourself if you say, oh, I want to lose 25 pounds by this date. Don't set yourself up like that, because our bodies fluctuate. Some bodies hold water weight, some bodies hold weight in different proportions. If you're lifting more, just don't set yourself up with being on that scale. Just create actionable and measurable goals that you know that you can stick to. I really want for all women to prioritize resting and taking care of ourselves at the end of this year, next year, and all the years to come. There is so much healing that takes place when we just allow ourselves to be, to turn our minds off, to put our to-do checklist down, and to just allow our minds to rest and just come back to center on yourself. Go stroll through the grocery store and smell the flowers. Look at the flowers. Take in something beautiful. Actually, go look in the mirror because you're beautiful. I want this next year to be so amazing for each and every one of you. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Okay, go ahead and subscribe to the channel to become a part of the Loved Ones community, because in 2025, I have some really great ideas that I want to start bringing to life, and I want you all to be a part of them. And if you need more motivation, I have a video that I believe will really help you out with more tips and tricks on how to make this end of the year bomb for you. It's right here. Go ahead and check that out. And as always, be bold, be joyful, and always be fully loving yourself. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.